Let's bring in the former Deputy Prime Minister now, Michael McCormack, who has caused a bit of a stir today. Thanks for your time.
Pleasure, Kieran.
It's not making it easy for Susan Lee, you and Barnaby Joyce.
Nobody's been more supportive of Susan Lee than me. I think she's going to do a great job.
But this doesn't help.
Oh, well, look, I was asked yesterday. I was asked the question and I've always answered the question. If I'm asked a question, I'll answer it.
And so end up on the front page of the paper and then...
I don't determine these days what ends up on the front page of the Australian. More's the pity. I would have been on there more often for more things when I was the Deputy Prime Minister. I might still be the Deputy Prime Minister, Kieran.
Our viewers might know that you're a former newspaper editor yourself.
Indeed, yes. 12 years.
So you know how the stories work.
I had 58 journalists in my newsroom at the time. I mean, they were heady days of the newspaper industry. But
you know how stories work.
I do, yes.
If you go against the position of the party, it's going to end up getting a good...
Well, is it against the position of the party? The New South Wales Nationals decided at their recent state conference in Coffs Harbour that we would repeal net zero. The CLP, the Country Liberal Party in the Northern Territory, recently voted to get rid of net zero. They've done the same in the coalition in South Australia.
Do you support new coal-fired power? Barnaby Joyce said today.
Yeah, no, I heard
you want new...
Well, look, you see New South Wales and Victoria, both state Labor governments are extending the life of coal.
But you think we should get new coal-fired power stations?
Well, it's the cleanest coal in the world.
Who's going to build them, though?
Well, that'll be up to the market. I'm not against it, so let the market determine that, but I'm not against it. I think we should stop putting the barriers up, and certainly not just in policy areas, but also in financial areas, because banks, banks need to know that these generate jobs, generate money.
And do you think they would stack up potentially?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. But the energy market...
But you're open
I heard interviews today...
You're open to more new...
well, I'm not against it, put it that way. I heard a lot of interviews today and a lot of the words that... one word that wasn't used in a lot of the interviews today was affordability. And energy equals the economy, and we need to have affordable energy. And at the moment, we do not. We had a Prime Minister who came into power in 2022 promising to cut bills by $275. That hasn't happened. He did it on more than 97 occasions. Has not happened. And we've got people out there who are poorer because of it. We've got people who can't afford power.
You're going to vote and support Barnaby Joyce's repeal net zero bill?
I am.
Because there are a couple of elements to this bill.
They're John Howard's former acts. I appreciate that. I've looked at it.
Yeah, you've looked at it. National Greenhouse Energy Reporting Act.
And if it gets into the House in the first place, there's quite a process before a private member's bill can actually make the floor of the House of Representatives. But you support repealing the two Howard-era bits of legislation, the National Greenhouse and Energy Reporting Act 2007, Renewable Energy Electricity Act 2000? I'm supporting the Act. I'm supporting the private member's bill.
And repealing those elements from the Howard era too? Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. This is a big call. When you look at, I know maybe not your seat, but if you're ever going to win back some of those urban seats, it's going to be hard.
Sure, but when you've got people in my seat in Maxwell, Mangapla, The Rock, Uranquinty, Bowning, Bynalong, Crookwell, it's like I've been everywhere, man. They're all facing these shysters who come in, these spivs who come in and ride roughshod over farmers. They're signing up one neighbour and not the other, often their brother and sister. They're dividing families, they're ruining friendships that have been going not for years but for generations. I mean, between Bynalong and Bowning, a great little area, peaceful, idyllic area, putting up 90, 260 metre wind turbines, wind towers. I mean, nobody should have to live with that right on their doorstep when there's absolutely no benefit to them. It's destroying lives, it's destroying livelihoods.
So it's the social...
The land value is going down.
So it's more the social upheaval that you're against?
I'm very much against that, and I'm very much worried about the cost of power when we're getting left behind. And we've got the Treasurer, Jim Chalmers, wanting to do a productivity forum, and we're not talking about how we're going to have cheap energy. I mean, this is a crock. It is an absolute crock. And how can I, as a member for Arena...
Are you using it to, try and push for the leadership again?
No. So I've answered your question before you even asked it. No. And look, the only thing I haven't done is put my name through my leadership ambitions forevermore. Why would I do that? No. But David Littleproud is the leader. All of our seats in the lower house were returned at the last Parliament, and David, as he said this morning, will do what the party wants as the leader, and that is his obligation and duty. And look, I support David, I do. I've never said that I don't.
But you've said it in a bit cheeky way.
Oh, yeah,
I'm ambitious for him.
You can't be just boring and
not
monotone. I'm not one of those Labor people who just gets my talking points and just reads it without even looking up. I mean, you've got to be a little bit on the
yeah.
on the edge.
That is funny.
I'm
ambitious
Dan
for
Tehan,
him.
though, this morning calling me a steer, and Barnaby a steer. We're not gilded. We're not emasculated. We're very much virile and out there. And
Bulls.
Well, exactly.
If you do end up supporting this private members bill, and the Nats change the position with David Littleproud, if he supports you along this, how do you then can you still stay in the
we'll
coalition?
work through that. Well, I was the one who got the coalition back together after that 8-day little hiatus.
But can you have a fundamental split on an issue like that and still keep the coalition
we have in the
together?
past, wheat marketing and other things we've divided
You could
on.
do that.
Well, I'd like to think so. And the fact remains, we need affordable energy. At the moment, we do not have it.
How would you do that, though? I get your argument, but
Well, it's also a process
shadow
that-
cabinet, if you got the shadow cabinet solidarity, but then you've got two different views on energy. It's a pretty fundamental policy.
Well, that'll play out in the weeks and months to come. It's 3 years to the next election. We need to be able to go to the electorate with a strong, credible case. And I think a strong, credible case would be around cheaper energy. And even city people want cheaper energy. There's a lot of pensioners in city areas who are not able to afford the power bills at the moment in winter, and it's very, very cold. It's a cold winter. But also, the fact remains, I have to answer to the people of the Riverina.
But you don't think it's the end of... It won't be the end of the coalition if you split on...
No, well, we've got a
net zero.
process at the moment that David and Susan have put in place that I know that Dan Tehan and Matt Canavan are going to have a say on, and that process starts this afternoon. They're going to be talking about how we work through this whole net zero situation, the energy situation. That's a good thing.
And do you think the majority of your party room colleagues agree with Barnaby and you
I'd like to think so.
on repealing net
Tom
zero?
will tell. I'd like to think so.
Okay. But finally, just to clarify, you think you can do that, like the wheat marketing, have separate positions on that issue, keep the coalition together?
Yes.
Okay. Good to see you. We'll see you next week.
Good on you, Kieran.